What's going on, you guys? Today I'm coming at you again with another story time. Um, Today's gonna be about the time, like the first time that I did 2CB, and not like the pink shit, like the whatever the fuck mix of like fucking Molly and ketamine, whatever's in that stuff that's in like South America or wherever it is. I'm talking about like the number two and then the letters CB, like the research chemical. Um, they do it in like Europe. It's not like a research chemical anymore, I don't feel like. But it's kind of interesting. It's like a psychedelic, but like it also kind of feels like Molly a little bit, but like it's not really. It's hard to explain. It's like its own little thing kind of. Um but how we had how I had acquired and came into possession of this substance, because it's not really common in North America, especially like the USA. Like people don't really do 2CB here. Especially in my state, like it's unheard of here. Nobody fucking knows what it is here for sure. But I had like this one source who had powder 2CB that was like tested and everything. Like we knew that it was 2CB for sure, and it was like powder, so that's like really cool because usually it's in like a pill, and those are like underdosed and stuff, so you're not actually gonna get what you like got the dose advertised to. You know what I mean? So it's if it's like 10 milligrams, they're usually gonna be like 5 milligrams type stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna buy like a decent amount of this. I bought half a gram, so that's a pretty decent amount. That's a pretty decent amount because I wanted to snort it. Usually people eat it, and when you eat it, people do like 10 to 20 milligrams, and then above like 25, it gets a little bit like it kind of has a little bit of a different feel to it. It's still fun and everything, but it has a little bit of a more head like fuckery feel type thing to it. And I was like, "How much is it?" And he was like, I think it was 135 for like the half gram, which is, you know, it's a little bit of money, but it's a half gram of 2CB, and that's gonna last you quite a bit. Um, so jumped on that, bought that, obtained that. Now that it was in my possession, I was like, I need to like crack into this and do it. So I hit up one of my friends and I was like, hey, like, do you want to try 2CB with me? Like, it's kind of like acid and stuff because we had done acid before. Um, and he was like, oh yeah, like of course I want to try that. Like that sounds fun as fuck. Like let's do it today. So we go over to his house, and he had like this shed where like we would smoke and do everything. So I busted out the bag with the powder. It's like a tan powder. It kind of looks like heroin a little bit. But it's not. It's not heroin. It has like a little bit of a pinkish look to it. It's it's like brown. It's like off brown, if that makes sense. But busted out the bag, and I was like, this is it. This is the goodies. Like the goods are in my hands right now. So I bust out the bag and I get the scale out and set the scale down because I didn't want to just eyeball this stuff because this is the type of stuff where like if you go a little bit over, there's like a fine line where it's like really recreational to like, okay, now we're getting a little bit complicated and things are kind of not really making sense, and my head feels a little bit like can't really understand things. You know what I mean? It's like that psychedelic type feel. So I tried to weigh out like I wanted to do like 15, 20 milligrams up my nose because it hits like a lot better through your nose, and it like hits a lot faster. It's a lot more intense and everything and strong. So I wanted to do a little bit less than what I would have done if I was going to eat it, which I wanted to do like 30, 35 if I was going to eat it maybe. Um I ended up kind of fucking up, and I did like 40 milligrams. Um wasn't really my brightest moment. I'm not gonna lie, because I really easily could have just like split that bitch in half, but I didn't. I was just like, no, 40 milligrams, fire, fine, set. So, I make my little line because it's already like a fine powder. It's like it'll clump together if you press it together, but it's not like it's not like something you need to sit there and like chop up like Coke or Cat or something like that. So I just make my little line. And I also didn't really like, I had been told that like snorting it hurts, but I was like, oh well, because I had snorted like oxys and coke and stuff like that, and I was like, that didn't hurt at all. So like, this will be fine. Like, I got this. I'm a fucking soldier, like a trooper. And lo and behold, I was not a trooper. This shit burns so fucking bad. It literally feels like imagine a pipe cleaner, but like all the little fuzzy parts are just like spikes, like spiked iron, and it's just being like rubbed in and out of your nostril. It feels so horrific. And then when it hits the back of your nose and it starts going down your throat, it feels like the back of your nose is just being like sliced open, like at every single fucking like the whole surface area of it just got sliced off with a knife. Like, it's insane how bad it hurts. And when that pain hit, at first I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then it started to hit me how much it was hurting, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I've never almost thrown up from pain before, but this time I had to sit there and try to keep my shit down. Like, I was about to spew all over the place. Like, it was so fucking bad. And my friend was sitting there like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? What's going on?" And I was like, "It hurts so bad. Oh my God." And then like I started coming up on the 2CB, and the mixture of the pain and coming up on the 2CB is such an intense feeling. Let me tell you. The nausea increased by 100. I was sitting there like, it felt like my stomach was some sort of fucking tsunami. Like, there was a boat in there, like, and it just, oh my God, it felt like the whole entire crew was about to go overboard with how fucking like just wavy and horrible my stomach felt. And I kind of started to just look around. Like, I was keeping my eyes closed most of the time because I was trying really, really hard not to puke. And then I would open my eyes periodically and like kind of wave my head around a little bit. And then the tracers started to kick in, and everything looked like a tracer. It was like a still image of what I was seeing, but like it just, the whole entire thing was a tracer. The whole thing was a tracer. And it was just kind of like somewhere between like 30 and 45 minutes of me just sitting there doing this. And then I get up and I'm just like, all right, I'm chilling, I'm lit. And so my friend's just like, oh yeah, like, I want my bump now. So I try to get like his bump ready, and I gave him a like less than I did because I didn't want to do like him like I did myself. Still didn't really go well. He takes his bump after I like, make his little line. I gave him like, I think it was 20 milligrams or like 25. My scale could only go down to 30. So I just kind of took a little bit off and then gave it to him. He, instantly is like, oh my fucking God, the pain. He's like just being like, oh my God, like it hurts so bad. Like he's just over and over like talking about the pain and how bad it hurts and stuff like that. And then he's just like, hold on, I'm gonna puke. And then he runs outside, like pukes so hard. Comes back in, he's like, oh my God. And then literally like 2 minutes later, he's like, I'm gonna puke again. Runs outside and pukes again. Comes back in. And this is like a repeat cycle, like 5 or 6 times. He comes in and is like, oh my God. Runs back outside and pukes again. And I'm like, oh my God, like how does this bitch even have puke left in him? Like it's like a Minecraft infinite water source, honestly. But like when we came up and got past that point, it was for the most part like it was a lot more chill and a lot more like, oh yeah, like I'm just kind of tripping and chilling and all that stuff. We ended up going to like a park thing, and just kind of sitting there walking around. It it wasn't really like anything special. The feeling of it was more just like, it was like what people expect acid to be, like less like being confused and not like as intense of a body high, because the acid body high can get kind of intense sometimes on occasion. Um, it was more like a chill, relaxed body high that was still somewhat stimulating. Like you could still feel that you were tripping, but like it wasn't overwhelming like acid can be sometimes. Um, Visuals were crazy. Like colors were like it was like if acid visuals were like doubled. So colors were so bright. Music felt amazing. Like I could feel the music in my like body. It felt like I was the music. And I don't know, like nothing really special other than that happened. But it was just like a regular trip, more or less. So near the end of the trip, we just kind of went home or back to his house, and then just kind of chilled out, and we were like, okay, bye. And then split ways. I went back to my house. He stayed at his house, and then saved the 2CB powder for another day. So, but that's the story of the first time that I did 2CB, and how horrific the come up was. So I hope you have a good day, and peace.